Okay, so we're moving on to the next session, which is our keynote speech from our keynote speaker. And I believe he's on the call already, so we are going to introduce him very briefly before we allow him to speak. Okay, let me see. Please, can you still hear me? Please, can you confirm that you can still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, and the screen is left with his profile.
All right. So, our speaker, Oluwasegun Makinde, is a distinguished scholar, executive leader, and wealth strategist with a career spanning Shell, ExxonMobil, Imperial Oil, and the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation, where he built an excellent career in data science and machine learning. He has since transitioned into the wealth management industry, where he's a 7-figure annual income earner. His organization generated over $5 million in revenue in 2025, and his personal income places him among the top few percent of income earners in North America. Makinde is known for his ability to bridge technical rigor with executive leadership, his impact in mentoring high-performing leaders, and his role in helping many individuals achieve financial independence. He is a faith-based leader, an agile investor, and an avid business builder with a strong commitment to team development, problem-solving, excellence, and creating meaningful impacts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with a clapping ovation in the chat, please welcome Mr. Oluwasegun Makinde.
All right.
His keynote speech.
Awesome. Wonderful. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you confirm if you can hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. All right. So good morning, guys, and it's a pleasure to be here. I was, of course, on the call earlier, listening to the impact that this initiative has made in the life of a lot of people, and many more, of course, would benefit from the major work that's been done here to change life when it is most sensitive to do so. And I believe the most sensitive time to change people's life is when they are still malleable, when, as a matter of fact, they are still in that phase of their life. I will be contributing my part to today's call by sharing my story in a very original way. While I was young growing up, I think one of the best things I look forward to is to hear certain people's stories and to, through those stories, see myself and see what's possible. And today, I am not just only grateful, I am also totally in a state of believing that anybody can change their lives. All they need to do is for them to be intentional. Once you can be intentional, your life can change by a lot of degrees. I know we have 41 people on the call. I'm going to share my screen, and I believe that 41 people is more than enough to start making this world a better place, right? Even one of you could be a student, one of you could be someone that's not even very sure about. And I guess I have about 20 minutes, right? I have 20 minutes, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I may have
Are you able to share your screen?
I will be able to share shortly. Yes, I think I can. Yeah, I can share. I think I have over prepared for this talk, so I have to quickly go so that I can.
No. You should take the time, sir, so we
All
can
right.
get all the best. It's not every time we get to have people like you on the call or to get you in your busy schedule. So thank you.
No qualms, no qualms. Yeah, it's a real pleasure. I cannot say that it was a real pleasure. All right. So let me get into how I would love you to start seeing life. Um, Certainly very different than, the popular view that people would have about life, which some of you on the call may probably be at that point where you're thinking about why things are not happening the way you expect it to happen, or why you could easily see other people getting things easy, while for you it takes a little bit more. While that does not annul the fact that there may be some unwarranted delays or hardship, but the truth is that life itself is really delivered in a case of challenge. And the courage to open that case is what you need so that you can reach forth for content in the case, right? So all of you can be confident that there is no small future for you. The future that has been created for you is certainly not a small one. It's something big, big enough to inspire, big enough to impact, and big enough to also transform, right? So, but you have to understand the processes of how your own unique challenges would enable you to eventually become successful. Hearing them introduce me. I was like, oh my God, is that me? Well, I'd like to share with you everything that may have contributed to whatever it is that you may have heard about my profile that may interest you. I'd like to take you to the very beginning of where it started from. And some of you are even better and more resourced and more positioned than myself if we were to rebase me to where you are today. I don't know, some of you maybe just finished secondary school, maybe just get into the university or even just finishing university. I bet to say that if you backtrack someone like me to be on the same time frame, you may be you may be a luckier person than myself, right? And it's just this attitude of getting to understand that challenges have the role they play in helping you get to where you should be that can make you a certain success. Now, I, I I love to be vulnerable because instead of being vulnerable and not allowing people connect, I would rather love to be vulnerable so that you can connect. So the very first challenge you will face is understanding that challenge itself is part of the package, right? And getting your mental attitude to accept the fact that challenges are part of the package is crucial. Like students, for instance, I want to be the best in my class. One of the things you have to do is that you have to study. Study is not fun, right? For some people, it's not fun. You have to wake up at night, so you have to stay awake. When I say stay awake, put it in quotes. Some people we did all sort of things to stay awake. I mean, some people will sleep early so that they can wake up early, which I consider smarter. Some people will buy cola nuts and eat cola nuts just to stay awake. Some people will drink coffee. In my days, there's nothing like coffee. I don't even know where to find coffee, right? So challenge is part of the package. So if there's any part of your future that you're thinking of and is getting you excited, just know that one part of the package is challenge, right? Because your attitude while you're going through challenge is very important. And there are three ways you can think about, your relationship with challenges. You can life can be lived in challenges, right? So you can get to the point where as a matter of fact you are living your life currently and things are challenging for you, right? You're just in that challenge. One of the things you need to know is that as a matter of fact, no challenge lasts forever. Some of you today, you are you are someone's child today. Tomorrow somebody else who is going to be your own child too. So no matter what you're going through, don't think about it like this will never change. I remember growing up, there are some things I didn't like, and it just need to be endured, right? You just need to endure it. Today, I don't think those things are there anymore. Like many of you, probably you don't like when you're reading and they say, hey, go and wash the plate, or you're reading and say, oh, go and do this. And you will not give the right behavior to things when you interpret challenges as being there forever. There's no challenge that is there forever. So you may be living in a challenge right now. The best behavior for that phase of your life is going to come when you understand that it's not going to be there forever. It preserves you. It makes you be at an advantage over the challenges, right? Some of you, perhaps you are, and I'll share a bit of my story. In secondary school, I came to know myself in primary school as an intelligent child. But when I got into secondary school, I didn't know what happened. It was very difficult to pass, all those subjects were very, very challenging to pass. As a matter of fact, when I got to SS1, what happened was I failed so terribly that I was 48th position out of 50. And the teachers felt like it's the best thing in my interest for me to go to another class, art class particularly. So I was sent to art class, but I was so stubborn. I didn't want to admit that defeat. I forced myself back to science class. And one of the things I discovered looking back was that there is something that just needs to happen to you to wake you up. And I'm going to talk about that at some point, right? So, and there were a lot of things going on in life for me then, but I was going through the challenges, and all I needed to do was to have the right behavior through it. Some of us will be better off in life if we acted the ideal way to the challenges we're going to face. Then the next thing, of course, is that you can be life can be lived above challenges, and life can be lived below challenges. If there's anything that is common to these three things, is the choice, right? Is the choice you make. You can definitely live in your challenges like it will never end. You can live above your challenges, whereby you know that there are some things that are happening against you, but you still keep your behavior like someone that should act like nothing is wrong. Well, you can live below challenges, where you know that there are some things that are happening, and you even then mess yourself up further. Like for someone that say, "Oh, my parents don't have money. Because my parents don't have money, I can't go to school." Then what is it? Then you start doing vices. You start, dealing in drugs, start doing stuff that you should not do. You're living your life below challenges. Living your life above challenges. Oh, my parents don't have money. But there's something called scholarship. Why don't I study like someone that can get scholarship? You are projecting yourself above your challenges. People that are living in their challenges, that are the people that look for people to pity them. Oh, you know what? The reason why I can't do this is because I wish my parents were like, these parents who, even before JAMB result came out, So which of all these do you want to be? Whether you are living in your challenges, looking for people that will pity you, or below your challenges, messing yourself up, behaving just the same way those that will fail would do, because people's behavior determine where they belong. Or essentially you want to live above your challenges, defiling all those things that are obvious but you do not really want them to happen. So every challenge builds you up. And what I mean by that is that think of your life as a house, right? There's a part that is in the kitchen, there's a living room, there is the visitors room, there's a washroom, there's every part of the house. So your challenge is to build you up. Can you imagine you being a home without a kitchen? That's the same way your life is if you don't accept challenges and live above them. There will always be something missing. And one thing I believe is that, and I'll share this later on, is that God orchestrates challenges to make people get built up. Some of you on the call, you are already very intelligent. You do well in your classes. You are top of the class. But one thing that is missing is you are so not humble. You are so good, but at the same time, you are so proud. That is something that will be challenging to you. And if you face it well and you fix yourself, you discover that everything is towards making you perfect, right? And even though some people say nobody's perfect, but the truth is, the more you get to go through life challenges, the better prepared for the future you are. So, just a summary here, take challenges as part of the package of life. There's nothing you want to become, the challenge is not going to sneak in. Whether you want to, go to school, start a business, even get married or whatnot, there's always going to be some challenges. Another thing is you can decide, it's your choice to be at a particular relationship with your challenge. You can be in it, you can be above it, you can be below it. If you're above it, you are acting like it's not there. You're not letting it limit you, because life is all about the behaviors you keep demonstrating regardless of whatever it is that is going on with you. And your challenges build you up. If you don't accept challenges, you will just be somebody with a Mac, but with a Ma at the same time. You're going to have both a Mac and a Ma. That is, people could know you, but they'll know you for what you are good at as much as they know you for what you're not so great at. Very crucial. Now, let me put some stories here. The very earliest challenge you're going to face is a challenge in your environment. Unfortunately, the way life is being lived is that the first environment you're going to find yourself is first of all going to be against you. And if you become a successful person, what will happen is that you now have an environment that looks like what you are. But in the first place, and for a lot of young people, I want to really tell you that one of the biggest challenges that you have to excel over is to rise above your environment. Environment matters. Many things may be going on in and around that is like the fashion, that's like there's so shortage of good examples. Bad examples are so much that you can even take things that are not supposed to be like the way life is supposed to be. I'm talking to you today. I grew up in this environment. Look at the place I grew up. This is where I grew up, somewhere called Bariga. And I had to go and get a satellite image of where I grew up. I was born here in 1989 up until 2005. I lived here for the first 16 years of my life. What do you think is going on in this kind of environment? People are smoking. People are doing boyfriend and girlfriends. People are telling lies. They're not studying. People think about how they're gonna wing exams. There's exams where they want to take expo. This kind of environment is so interesting that, when I think about how far I've come, I can only attribute it to something that I'm going to tell you guys later on in my slide. In this environment, of course, there is no light sometimes for you to even do your assignments. In this environment, of course, sometimes, you wake up and what is happening in the street is that they just pick someone else that robbed and they are going to put tire on the person's neck and burn the person alive. So psychologically, mentally, many of you probably you are in a better position, but you may be asking for too much than you need, right? So I grew up in this kind of environment. This is the house where I lived in, right, for 16 years of my life. So whatever it is that you're going through, the challenges of life, they are present for everybody. But the truth there is that the choices you make matters. Even as I grew up from here, I carefully look for examples, people that I could see them as the hope that would give me the chance to start thinking differently. So I could see people, I could hear stories. One of the stories I had that really impacted me when I was growing up is the story of Ben Carson, the gifted hands. And I'd be thinking to myself, I say, oh my God, how did this guy, Ben Carson, how did he do all these things, right? What did he do? How well did he study? You can't even read in this house, right? The reason we can't read is that there's always somebody sending you message every time. It's like everybody has agreed that nobody should sit down somewhere. Once they see you, hey, go and do that. Hey, go and do that. And it's kind of interesting, right? And I'm sharing this with you because I'll show you the contrast. Education is a big part of it, right? For me, my parents did as much as they could. As a young boy growing up, my dad afforded to take me to this school. This school is called Ladybird Nursery and Primary School. Even though I was living in that kind of place, my dad has a different view about education entirely. As of 1992, 1993, this school was already costing over 50, 60,000, 80,000 naira for a child to go per term. In my classmates were people essentially that their parents were doctors, were people that, Wale Dia, even the child actually attended the school. And I'm trying to show you environment. One environment is the home, another environment is the school. So in here, I picked up how these children do their work. They tend to tell me what is happening. They tell me what is happening at home with them. I know it's totally different from what what happened with me when I go back home. But even if that contrast was a challenge, I did not choose to live in it or to live below it. I started measuring up to these other, these children, because my dad is trying his best to make sure that I can get to go to a school like this, and I want to live up to that expectation and exceed it. And it's also a blessing for me. After finishing from Ladyville, I went to Siemens Grammar School, right? So I met some other incredible people. One of them, of course, is my head boy in school, and every time I look at him, I'm like, wow, this guy is just so is helping me build an environment of contrast. So please don't make what you live, where you live around, be the only places that give you an idea of what you could become. Always have another environment, another association that is challenging you to live above whatever it is that life look like. Now, you don't choose your challenge sometimes. They happen anyways. So this is my mom. I'm trying to get some of their pictures enhanced. This is my dad and this is my mom. My mom died when I was about maybe 9 years old or thereabout. She died very young. I hope you know that I did not choose to say my mom should die, right? So some things happen to you. It is not your choice. It will happen to you. The best attitude to things happening to you is for you to see it as happening for you. You have to see it as happening for you. So when my mom died, oh my God, my dad almost fell into depression. And if you could see by a glimpse of whatever is possible, I want to keep the originality of this story, right? So you see, the contrast, my dad was significantly older than my mom. And when my mom passed away at age 34, my dad was already in his late 50s, winding down. Then he decided, I'm not going to get married. Any year is going to get to, I'm just going to train these children. Five of them, my elder brother was 11. I think I was 9. My younger brother was 7. The one that followed that was 5. My younger sister was 1 year, 7 months old. There is no mother anymore, and we have to continue life. We have to get to move things going. So there is nobody that essentially will say, hey, wake up, go and brush your teeth. I hope you know, hope you know the way a father can take care of 5 children, right? So someone that has not done that before. So we have to grow up very quick. We have to grow up with expecting nothing from nobody, right? If you find it, you are grateful. If you don't find it, it's normal, right? And that's one thing that is so important in life. If you are on the call and one of the things you think is that you deserve more, you are just not going to get to where you're supposed to get to. If you have it, good. If you don't have it, it's normal. You move on with it. So I was in GSS 2 when my mom passed away. So GSS 3, then SS 1. SS 1 was terrible. I couldn't cope with physics, chemistry, or math. And that became so compounding, so depressing. At some point, I felt that I can't go to the university because in my environment, most of the people I see there, they started learning tailor. Some of them essentially start becoming mechanic. Some of them essentially at that point also started working in bakeries. So in my mind, I think I figured it out that I can really do a good job and maybe I will go to polytechnics. So those were the kind of ideas that my environment was presenting to me. And I was almost accepting it as the extent to which I could go, right? I could not go more than where I could see my environment taking me to. And now there's a reason. My mom is even dead. What should I do? I mean, I think it's valid if I give up at this point. Everything is there. My dad is this, my mom is this. What do I want to do, right? Many of you may be that way, that you're living in your challenges, right? But then there's always a need to live above the challenges, to defile it, to have every point in time, press it down, use it as a launching pad to get to the next level. And that's why, of course, I'd like to talk about the fact that to live above your challenges, you have to be ready to make unpopular decisions. I know those days, I found it very challenging to understand math. So in fact, my elder brother many times would make jest of me because I was reading math like English. I was reading math one by one. So my brother would come to me and say, "Oh my God, look at you." He will mention some names of people, of which he is not even good at the math. He is not even good at the math. I'm trying to get good at the math. And we go and say, "Look at you. Do you think that is the way?" So you mentioned some names. Some people are very intelligent in school. Think that's the way those people are reading math? Look at you. This is not the way to read math. So you better just dump this book. I'll pick it up again. I'll try to read it one by one, one by one, one by one. I'm not understanding it. So I make an unpopular decision, right? And you are going to have to make unpopular decision to be popular. That's the interesting thing about life. Anybody that you see that is popular, so this guy, at some point they made unpopular decision. So what was the unpopular decision I made? I made a decision to be friend with somebody that knew more than me. So I had this classmate of mine, is a twin. And I discovered that when he's in school on Monday, his twin brother is not going to be in school on that Monday. When he is not in school on Tuesday, his twin brother will be on school on Tuesday. So I asked him, I said, "Hey, Christian, what's going on? Why are you and your brother alternating coming to school?" They said, "So, oh, my mom sells in Unilag." Oh, first time I had Unilag. I said, "Oh, so there's a place Unilag. What is Unilag? Oh, it's university. Oh, university. Okay. What did your mom do there?" So, oh, we sell bottled water, we sell this. So I come on Monday so that my brother would be with my mom. So on Tuesday, my brother will come. I'll like, oh, but I say, why is it that every time we write exam, you always get the highest score? You're not even there when they were teaching us. They say, oh, that one. I go to a lesson. I'm going to introduce you to that lesson. And, that's where I go to. And I've learned everything that you are doing. I say, really? So I decided to follow him to that lesson. So when I got to that lesson, oh my God, I'm not kidding you. I felt sick on that day because I started thinking about my life, thinking about my life, thinking about my life. Because the people there were so intelligent, extremely bright people. And I was just saying that, do I have a chance? Like many of you, you may be intimidated by some people's results. Don't let it get to you. It's just see it as what is a show of possibility. So when I went to that lesson, I gave up. I didn't go again. I said, let me just go back to this, my maybe for organizer or something I'll do. This one is too hard. How will people know book like this? Where do I want to start from? So my friend came back to me, and that's why it's still my best friend till tomorrow. I say, Makinde, I'm not seeing you in that lesson again. That lesson, you guys are too good there. I don't think that lesson is for me. And so what happened is that so he now said, "Oh, I'm going to create time for you. I'll be teaching you maths, I'll be teaching you physics, I'll be teaching you chemistry. I'll come twice a week." So I figure out a an isolated room in my house where nobody goes to. When you stay in that place and you don't move for 1 or 2 minutes, you're going to see rat will run over your leg. If you just stay still for 1 minute, rat will run. So I discovered that that's the only place I can, I can really be. So I told my friend, you know what, when you come, we'll just go inside this place and we'll just sit down there. We're going to on candle because there's no light there. So I'll get candles, I'll on the candle, say, we'll come with his textbook. So when he comes with his textbook, will teach me. So for the first time, I heard about the word Babio textbook, a Babio. So this textbook is called a Babio. He brought his own. He started teaching me chemistry, teach me physics, teach me maths. So each time he leaves, I will stay back there for another 30 minutes, trying to say everything he said. I will say to myself, I'll say, okay, this is oxidation. Oxidation is when oxygen mixes with it. I will say it, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it. And the thing will stick. They'll be calling me, "Hey, Shagun, hey, this boy, I've gone and play boy again. Where did he go?" I'll be hearing them. The way we're gonna deal with this boy when he comes, I'm just hiding there, studying, reading. So when I am done and I'm ready, I will leave that room. Then when they see me, they will pound me. Sometimes they will, what's wrong with you? And if your mom dies early, then you know really people that that really like you. Because that's another discussion for another day, right? I face a lot of misrepresentation too, because I was just trying to make an unpopular decision to get to move forward. So I mean, long story short, I mean that story itself is I'm working on a project to write uh to write my story, and I think that would be a good one to read. So eventually, so this guy told me you have to get a Babio. I said, a Babio. There's nobody that know about me in my area. Okay, so I started asking, ah, Brahmed, please, do you know anybody that have a Babio? Oh, there's one Ababio in the house of the Afolabis. I think it's the Afolabis that read it. I went to the Afolabis. Sorry, Brashim, they say there's an Ababio. Oh, yeah, there's a Babio. Check our dining table. By the time I got to Babio, about 60 pages is done already. So I took that Babio. I started reading that Babio. Read it. So one day I decided to go and visit that lesson that I said I can't be. So surprisingly, they have a test that day. I say, test. These people that are extremely intelligent. Can I take a test with these guys? They are too intelligent. I said, okay, anyway, let me try. So I tore a sheet of paper. I wrote my name, everything. First question, oxidation. I know oxidation like crazy now. It's not as if I know it to go, because oxidation is oxidation. Everything that I was saying, I was just writing it. This one, I know this one. This one, oh, I know this one. I know this one. That's how I submitted. Then I didn't go to the lesson again. So the teacher marked the script, and I was the highest score. They were like, who is this guy that does not even come to our lesson and score the highest? Everybody started looking for me. So my friend that used to teach me came and said, Makinde, you say you don't know anything. Look at your scripts. You got this one correctly. You got this one correctly. You got this one correctly. You even got it more than me. I said, me? Really? I said, this thing is just service. It just served in my hand, though. I didn't know. Even I didn't even understand. It's just that because I've crammed it, oxidation is this. So they now started looking for me. So I went there. So the expectation was so high that this guy is very intelligent. I said, oh my God. They say I'm intelligent, but I know that I'm not intelligent. It's just because I've practiced this thing. Then I started doing what intelligent people do: read books, you know, think more, be more disciplined. That's how I turned around from being a student that I was going to be ejected out of science class to a student that essentially now became getting A. And I think when I wrote my GCE, I had almost all distinctions eventually, right? And that is an attitude that you must embrace. The right environment, the right people around you, very important. To live above your challenges, you need to have an encounter that will wake you up. One of the other things that helped me, I had a friend. My friend, it's been a long time we spoke. His name is Dotun Jordan in my secondary school. So it's at a very challenging time in SS1. One day, Dotun called me and said, hey, Shegun, do you know about the Lord Jesus Christ? I said, I know about the Lord Jesus Christ. We go to church. I said, no. I mean, do you have a personal relationship with Jesus? It's a personal relationship. What does that mean? I said, okay, you know, um, as a child of God, you need to be talking to God every day. God needs to be using you to do good things. You should be good examples. As a child of God, it is not acceptable for you to be lying. It's not acceptable for you to be stubborn, because the Holy Spirit lives inside of you. Then Dotun started speaking to me. Then what I discovered, I was just crying. I was just crying. I was just crying. And Dotun was just holding my hand. He now held me by the hand and helped me to give my life to Christ. And that was a very important turning point. By the time I got back to the house, people knew that this guy has changed. Before, it used to be very challenging. Who is going to wash my daddy's clothes? I went back home. I went to wash the clothes myself. I arranged it. I cleaned the house. I came back. There's one of my friend that liked a girl. And those days, I used to be the spokesman for that guy. So I was the one that was talking to the girl, say, "Oh, this is my friend likes you. You know, you have to." So when the Holy Spirit just told me about her name is Dora. So I went, I said, Dora, I need to tell you something. Say what? I said, Dora, you see, you need to give your life to Christ. I started preaching to Dora. When my friend that knew that I was going, I was going to help him talk to Dora, I said, hey, by the way, Rashidi, this thing I told Dora, I have to tell you too. So I started preaching to Rashidi too. Rashidi, you have to do this. So they were so surprised. So in my house, they started calling me pastor, 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 pastor. And that really helped me. That was a very important turning point. It helped me to stay out of making a lot of errors. It made me to have a way to live ahead of the prevalent examples that was around me. So many of you on the call, you need to have an encounter that will wake you up. For you to also live above challenges, you need to be hearing the right things every time. I had a sister that took me early to church. So when he takes me to the church, a very strange church, it's only speaker. We are just sitting in the front of speaker. We don't see anybody preaching. But what that man used to say used to make a lot of sense. I said, what kind of pastor is this? I don't even know what clothes this pastor is wearing. We don't know where. But the man, whatever he's saying, he would tell me about, he would share a story of how, he came from a very poor background, he succeeded. He would tell some story about how he made a first class. See, this thing is making a lot of sense. So my sister will always take me every now and then to that environment. So for you to overcome challenges, you have to always hear the right thing. Now, at some point, I had to now go to the university. So you remember my story. I wanted to be a vulcanizer, a painter, a dry cleaner, a mechanic, this kind of people. That's what people believe in my area. So eventually I got myself into the University of Benin. So I had gone into University of Benin because I wanted to be rich. I was figuring out that maybe if I study hard, I will go to University of Ibadan. I'm going to do medicine. I tried, it didn't work. But one of my friends came and told me to say, you know what? If you study petroleum engineering, you are going to have a lot of money. I said, that's what I want to do. I need to have a lot of money because look at my younger brother, look at my younger sister, look at this, look at my elder brother. No, no. I need to have a lot of money. Look at where we used to live. I don't like that thing. We don't even have, no, no, no. I want to make a lot of money. Say, go and study petroleum engineering. So this time around, don't forget, I have picked things up. I started doing what intelligent people do. So the reason why you are not who you want to be because you don't do what those people you want to be like do. So if you know what intelligent people do, if you do it, you're going to be intelligent. If you know what rich people do, if you do it, I'm not talking about the pleasure part or the real hard work part. If you do it, you are going to really, be those people. So I go to University of Benin. Oh, this one, I don't want to bore you too much, but some of the things I can remember specifically, I will share with you. So my dad did not like that fact that I was going to University of Benin. So because of that, it was a big issue. And somebody came to mediate and say, because what had happened is that somebody went to Jamb office and he saw my results and said, can somebody from Bariga living in this area score this kind of result? What kind of boy is this? So he took my Jamb slip and started looking for everybody in my area. Then he met my dad and said, this boy is your son. Oh my God, there's no school that this boy wants to go to in Nigeria that they're not going to give him admission. So take. But unknown to my dad, I've changed my university from Unilag to Uniben because my friend have sold me the dream of do petroleum engineering and you're going to make a lot of money in life. So my dad was so mad with that. very angry because Unilag was just very close to our house, just about maybe a few minutes drive. And but for me, I'm looking for a dream to be rich. So he was so angry, but somebody came and mediate for me and say, hey, Baba Biji, that's what they call my dad because he had a wife before my mom that gave birth to twins. Ẹ jẹ́ kọ́mọ yìí lọ sí school tó fẹ́ lọ yìí. Ọlọ́run á ṣe lólu ọmọ fún yín. Jẹ́ kó lọ school yìí. Ṣẹ́gun will do very well in this school. So when the person spoke that word, it touched me. And the person called me to one side and said, Shegun, you are first class material. I said, first class? What is first class again? So I started looking at it. First class, what do you need to do? First class, what do you need to do? Then I asked somebody, his name is Madu Abuchiobin. And I said, what does it mean to have a first class? He said, in every semester, you must make more A's than B's. So if you do 10 courses, if you have 6 A's, 4 B's, you're going to be a first class. Always make sure that you never have C or have more A's than B's. I say, oh, okay. So that's what first class is. I say, that's good. So I got into school. Many interesting things happened, but I can't share that part of the story. The truth is that the challenges are real. I showed you where I've come from. I've told you about my mom's case, but I went through school. I finished with the first class and as the best graduating in my set. So what that means is that among the first class in the class, I was the first among the first class. And I ran into these certificates they gave me, so department to the best graduating student, the academic performance of 500 level in the Department of Petroleum Engineering, 2010, 2011. So what am I trying to position you for? Your challenges are real, but the truth is that the choices you make through while you're going through those challenges can even be more real. No matter what it is you're going through, what is most important is how you behave yourself through it. Associate positively. Have an encounter that will connect you to God because it's so important because you can't excel beyond that. Then I saw some of this picture, then I got married. I mean, that's another interesting challenges to you. And almost everybody I'm speaking with here are millionaires, and that's the guy that came from the place I showed you. Behind them. These are my parents. Now, do you think you deserve a better parent than you have right now? You don't. The parents you have now will do the job. They are both late right now, but I am working on raising a foundation in their name. I want to tell the story of some of the things that my dad did that helped me. Some of the challenges that he faced that I saw how he surmounted it that helped me. I want to talk about my loving mom who died very young at the age of 34. I'd already given birth to 5 children. I already have 5 plots of lands. 5 plots of land was there already. And our goal was to gift a plot of land to each of the child as a legacy. In lack, she still have legacy. And that is so important to me. And, in closing, guys, I'd like to share that some of the people you are even thinking that they are your role model, you are the one that will be their role model eventually if you pick things up. We have a family where I grew up. It's called the Banjo family. This family is the most successful family you can think about. When my dad is talking, say, do you think Banjo children will behave like this? Then recently, one of them reached out to me. Her name is Tawa Banjo. So the story is that this girl and myself, we liked each other when we were growing up. And I used to teach her, And, I look at them so much like these guys are the idols of this world. Oh my God, this family got it figured out. Then recently, she chatted me up. This is about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. When she chatted me up and she was trying to check things. And I was just asking, I was so much dying to hear from her. Thank you. What of your dad is good. This. And I always use you as a good example of hard work. I don't know what this lady is talking about. I said, for me, what helped me was that I gave my life to Christ early. She was thinking that it's because I was intelligent or whatnot. I said, no, all those things you're saying because I gave my life to Christ early. So all those times that people are wasting time around, it's not because I cannot do it, but I choose to be different through God's grace. Of course, challenges are not going to stop where you are right now. Don't think your challenge is going to be, I'm going to, once I finish secondary school, once I finish university. No, challenges are ongoing chapters. Living above challenges is not a phase of your story, it's ongoing chapters. So after doing all those, I came to Canada again. One thing is, if you go through your challenge and you come out of it, you're going to have the character. You'll have built the character, the mindset, the candor, the optics of how you're going to get things done. I came in here into Canada, another set of challenges. But one thing I can for sure tell you is this: the temptations or the challenges in your life, they are not different from what other people experience. But God is faithful. He will not allow that temptations to be more than necessary. So don't let it crush you. But God's grace above all, but the God of all grace, who hath called us into his eternal glory, after that you have suffered a while. So there is a possibility that you can go through suffering for a while. So don't always think of quick things. There are some things you're going through. It's not happening for you quicker. It's not getting there faster. It's not becoming so good quickly. You are so putting in so much effort. You're trying to read. You don't understand that subject. There is something that you're going through that's going to make you later on perfect, established, strength, and settled. And also, if you are younger, you are better off when you're facing your hard times younger. And this is the same too. If you're in business, if things are hard for you in the early time, it's because it will be good for you eventually. So guys, I hope I was able to share a little bit about my story to help you see what is possible in a slice of time when you as a person decide and you commit to say challenges are part of the package of life. I've just heard somebody else stories. Many of you on the call, you share way better stories than my stories, right? And don't let your story die. Your story die the day you start, living in your challenges or living below your challenges. You have to choose personally to live above your challenges. So thank you so much for giving me the chance to share here. I have a very important meeting here in Dallas, Texas, but I had to create this time because it's particularly important to me to make sure that I can use my time this way that I've used it this morning. So thank you very much, everybody.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Oluwasegun Makinde. That was awesome. That was a masterclass. I mean, people pay to hear these kind of things, and we are just hearing it for free here. Thank you so much, sir. Please let us show our appreciation in the comments. Let's say thank you, sir. We really appreciate. God bless you. I learned a lot. Honestly, my notes are full. But some of the things that stood out for me was the fact that when you give your life to Christ early, I just want to really emphasize that to people on this call, that it's very important to do life with God. Like, he's the author, and you cannot live your life like outside of him. You may not even understand. You will not understand things about your life outside of God. He's the one that created you. He knows why he created you. So it's important that you do life with God. And also, I'm sure that we heard at different points, Mr. Makinde always had friends around him that was encouraging him, that was speaking to him, that was giving him like courage. Okay, do this. You can do this. Let us surround ourselves with people that their words build us up, not people that when you tell them, oh, I have this vision, they just begin to tear you down, say, oh, it's not possible. You that are living in this place, how do you do that? You people don't used to have lights. How do you think you can apply for this scholarship and get it? Don't let anybody tell you that your dreams are invalid. And also, like, filter voices that speak to you. Don't let people's limitation limit you. All right. So I believe that we have questions for Mr. Makinde. I believe that we have questions. So if you have questions,
before questions, I want to
okay.
especially thank I'll call him SEVC. For those that don't know what SEVC is, SEVC means Senior Executive Vice Chairman. So think of the top 1% of the top 1% in a top organization that's the annual revenue is about 1.4 billion. So when you see someone like this on the call and seeing the journey, it just brings to light what is possible. And I'm really grateful, sir, that we have you here. So it's a great honor, and I just want to keep it there for people to know that what we are doing is actually very, very intentional. We don't just bring any old person. We bring people who we can actually track their story. And I'm glad that you're able to show us how you came from that place, the challenges, how you were able to overcome challenge. When I was thinking about the theme for this year's event, and it came to me strongly, soaring, overcoming life challenges. I think I was doing dishes or something that day, and the name just dropped in my head. Why not invite this person? And I'm glad that you're able to honor that invitation. So we'll pass it over to questions. Maybe we can take two questions because we still have a couple of things to do. Yeah, I'm over to you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Linka. Thank you once again, Mr. Makinde. Thank you so much, sir. All right, so I think I see a question already. Let me see. All right, so Mariana has a question.
Yeah, I think we are struggling to hear your more. I think your network. So the question is,
when you are having a time.
So I think we're struggling to hear your mommy. So
I think you can the question already. Is it the one?
Okay, you see the question. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Go on.
So the truth is there's always something that would help you know or how much you can do or how well it can be. As someone that has been in that position before, where I studied and I wasn't understanding what I was reading. It's not because of the brain power. It's not because you have an inferior brain, or is it because others are smarter? Most times, what you need to really unlock yourself, because what happens most times is that many persons they are locked up by maybe the certain way they have been looking at themselves, or they have been telling themselves that they are not a great person at that particular endeavor. One of the things you need to do is, of course, association matters. Associate with people, and trust me, God can't keep you stranded. That's one thing I know. I have gone through a lot that I know that for people that are perceptive, God cannot keep you stranded. There's always going to be somebody or something or somewhere or something happen that is already there. Your only solution is for you to be aware of it, right? So association matters, and also what you tell yourself is very important. And it's okay if you struggle with these things and you don't understand this. God may be using it to teach you persistent, right? Persistent. Just for you to be persistent. Like I told you, math was I was so bad at math. As somebody, I'm so afraid of mathematics that I'm like, man, I cannot do this. But the more I say myself I cannot do this, the more I see that, those things were not true at all. They were just a state of mind that I was in, and I needed somebody else to help me. So within your environment, in that environment, be intentional, associate with people that know it more. Do what people that, set time, go to a place to read, look for resources that can help you. Nowadays, things are even better. You have resources online that can make things so easy for you to pick up. You have things that can even come across as helping you better than an individual even sitting with you. But it's more about your mind. Don't let your mind cast you behind and put that effort in and associate with the right people and use resources, are probably online. These days, time and age, a lot of things are even available. YouTube videos, watch YouTube videos, you know, get to, I don't know how the language models are accessible to you back home. I think Gemini is free or whatnot. You can use all those things. Your mind will open and you start seeing that things are way better, right? You fall. I know, right? That falling asleep is very real, right? Is the reason why you're falling asleep is that you not yet have a big reason why. The reason why that it's like just imagination. Use your imagination to say, what if the only thing I need to do to succeed in life is just to read 1 hour or 2 hours every day? You have to put a big why to push you over those tendencies too. So and those are very important hack to life. Your imagination is key. You import your energy from your imagination. It's very, very important. All right, guys. I am so
Thank you so
sorry.
much, sir.
I have to
Thank you
I
so
need
much, sir. I
to
think you've answered a lot of questions in one.
yeah,
Some of the questions we are seeing are very specific.
yeah,
And you just brings an idea in my head, just popped right. I think we need a session for students specifically. We'll
yeah,
just have a panel of like maybe 3 people just to
yeah,
answer some of their questions. So thank you so much. I know you have to get back to another meeting.
yeah.
We appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And I would we'll talk at the back end. Thank you so
All
much.
right. All right.
So
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate
mm,
you. Thank you.
mm.